Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. For today's recipe, we're going to make squash blossom soup, una sopita de flor de calabaza. Squash blossoms are the flowers from which zucchinis grow, but in order to use the squash blossoms, the zucchinis are picked before they're fully developed. Although the entire flower is edible, I'm going to trim off the stem, then I'm going to open it to remove the pistil and the stamen. The blossoms, you can find them at your favorite Mexican grocery store or at a farmer's market. The small zucchinis that I trimmed off, I'm going to set aside and chop them into tiny pieces to incorporate it with the recipe. Before preparing the soup, we're going to rinse the squash blossoms in cold water to remove any residue. Start by melting 1 tablespoon of butter with a splash of olive oil. Add 1/4 of an onion roughly chopped and 2 garlic cloves cut in half. Sauté for about 30 seconds to a minute or until they're nice and fragrant. Then mix in the squash blossoms and sauté for an additional 30 seconds or until they're nice and withered. Transfer all the ingredients from the stock pot to the blender. Add chicken bouillon or salt to your taste. And to help blend the ingredients, add 4 cups of chicken broth or vegetable broth and 2 cups of Mexican sour cream. Blend these ingredients for about a minute or until they're nice and smooth and set aside. Using the same stock pot, I'm going to melt another tablespoon of butter with a little bit of olive oil. Add in the diced zucchini, 1 can of corn or fresh corn, and season with salt and pepper to your taste. Sauté both of these ingredients for about a minute before adding in the contents from the blender. I also added an additional cup of chicken broth to the blender to get the remainder of the residue that was inside of the blender. You can also add in a tablespoon of all-purpose flour or 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to make your soup extra thick. But with the Mexican sour cream, there's no need to add any additional flour because it makes it extra creamy and delicious. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to add a couple sprigs of epazote. You can also find epazote at your local Mexican grocery store, at your local farmer's market, or you can also grow it at home and use it as needed. Simmer over low-medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes or until it reaches a light thickness. Using a whisk, remove the epazote before serving. And enjoy as a side with your favorite recipes or with a grilled cheese sandwich. And enjoy!